I am so excited today. I'm going to show you the Sweetest Star Wreath and more. My name is Karen Slawinski. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and I live in Akron, Ohio. So since our new catalog just came out, I have been looking at this bundle and wondering, how did they do this wreath? Isn't it adorable? I love it. So that is the wreath and a couple different samples. And then there is the bundle and it comes with a punch. So I've been trying to figure out, how did they do it? They just show us this beautiful wreath, but they didn't tell us how to make it. So when I went on vacation, I took a couple stars with me and I was just kind of thinking, how can I make this work? What is going to make it stick together? What's going to keep the dimension on it? So when I got back, I put my ideas to work and the wreath is so cute. So I've got one made already that's in some different papers, and then we're going to make one in the video. Plus I got some other fun cards to show you. So let us look at this beautiful wreath together. Let's begin by looking at the bundle. Here is the stamp set, and the star will cut out all three of these elements. So we've got a Santa, Mrs. Claus, and a gingerbread guy. And then we have some cute sentiments and some snowflakes. And then the star punch, okay? So that is the basics of this bundle. And so I decided to do some different colors from the catalog. And I have chosen the Season of Green and Gold. And I've already made up a bunch of these stars, but I want to show you how to make one up. So here is one that I have punched out, and I did 4 of each of my colors. I'm not going to use the gold foil. I'm going to be just using the green side. And you'll need a piece that is about 2.5 by 9.5 or so piece wide for the designer series paper. So get your cutting blade out of the way, and then you are going to line up the point right in the track with the valley, okay? And then you're going to hold it in place and then score it, okay? I'm going to try to keep the glare off my board. And then you're going to rotate it, and so you're going to do this on all 5 of your points. Now, it seems a little bit, tedious at first, but once you get on a roll, it goes really fast. I've made a bunch of these wreaths already, and it doesn't take nearly as long once you get used to doing it. So you're going to go around. So you got 5 of these score lines that you could do. You could also use your scoreboard if you have one of those, but I think the trimmer works quite nicely. You just put it in that groove and then do that. All right, so I'm going to get that out of the way. So I'm done with the trimmer. Move that. And let's see if I can cover up some of these glares. So now you have your piece of paper that is scored. Now, one of the things that I thought was that if you scored it with cardstock, it would be much harder to do because it is heavier than our designer series paper. But it really did score just as easily. And so I am just folding it on all those score lines. At this point, I'm just folding it in half each of the ways. And sometimes you might have to tweak it just a little bit. And then I've got one more to go. Where's the last one? All right, so now everything has been scored. And so on the points, they're going to go up, and then the next one is down. So I just kind of pinch it, and I use my fingernail and pinch it there and go around. And then you end up with this 3-dimensional star. All right, so I have all these stars already done. So the next thing was, well, what do I put this on? So what I came up with is the Deckled Circles, and you need a piece of paper that is about 6 inches square, and I have chosen the Very Vanilla. So I have 2 sheets of the thick Very Vanilla, and I'm going to use my Deckled Circles. So this is the largest one. And then I'm just going to offset. This is the third one in. So we skip one and then we do this. So I'm going to go cut these out. And actually you can cut them both out at once. So I'm going to go do that and I'll be right back. So here I have my ring. I'm going to just grab my little mat here. I'm going to move these out of the way. All right. So now I have my ring. So this is going to be the base where all the stars go. And what I wanted to do before I start assembling my stars onto here, I want to put a ribbon. So I'm just going to take this off, set it to the side. And this is ribbon from last year. It was in our annual catalog, but I thought it went so beautifully with it. So I'm going to still use that. So I'm going to just put some seal right here at the very top. And I'm going to sandwich this in here, and it'll be beautiful to hang. Okay, so that is now in there. And then I can go ahead and stick down my other layer. I'm just going to go ahead and put glue. And this is just going to go. And it doesn't have to line up. You could line it up. Since you cut them at the same time, you could do it. But nobody is going to see this layer. But this is your base. Okay, so then what you're going to need are your dimensionals. So I have 12 stars, so I'm going to position my dimensionals north, south, east, and west. Okay. And then, I want to get it just so I got. Okay. And then in between each one of these, you're going to put 2 more dimensionals. And all I did was eyeball this. It's just, you know, it's pretty easy. You don't have to measure it, because the way the stars are, they're going to kind of go their own way anyway. Okay. And I've got one more. Okay, so that is the first step. Now the next step is you need some foam strips. Okay, so what I did is I took a strip off. Get it started. All right, so this is one foam strip, and then I want to double it up. So I've got the sticky side down, and I started it like this, and I just kind of eased it together so they line up nicely. And then snip it at the top. Oh, I want that to line up nicely. So now I have a double thickness of foam. So I needed to have height to be able to stick these down. So I took this and I cut it in half. Okay. And then I cut it in half again. And then each of those I just cut into thirds. You don't have to be very precise about these. So I'm going to cut those. I'm going to speed this up a little bit for you. All right, so what this is going to do is give you elevation. So I'm going to peel off my backing, and I'm going to peel off one of these. And then I'm just going to put that on there, sort of point to point. Okay, so that's going to give me height. So I'm going to go ahead and do that with all of these. And again, I will speed this up. All right, now that you have all those on there, we need to add another dimensional to the top of this. And take off all the backings, and what I found is kind of easier to hold this, you know, by the side, and then just try to put that on like so. So it kind of gives you this little bit of a springy because of the foam. So the first time I tried it, I did it with more dimensionals. And I just stacked 4 dimensionals on top of each other. But I kind of like doing it with the foam just because of the springy nature of it. And it gives it just a little bit more wiggleness, which is helpful, I think, for when you go to attach. So again, I'm going to speed this up. So there we have all of our landing spots for our stars. So I'm just going to start with peeling off this one. And since I have chosen to do 3 colors, I'm just going to keep them in the same order. So I'm just going to start out with, I think I'll start out with this one. And I'm just going, I took the stickiness off so you can see, and I'm going to just put this right down and give it a little press. So you can see that it is sticking to the star. It's not sticking by a whole lot. So I don't know if, you wouldn't want to have this around kids or anything that might tug at it. But it is enough to hold down our paper stars. So then I'm going to switch off to the next one. And I'm just kind of rotating my stars a little bit, not not drastically, but I do want to cover up so they're not seeing the base that we have of this ring. And I'm going to keep going around my circle. So once again, I'm going to speed up my video. All right, then for this last one, I want to kind of tuck it under as I'm sticking to my adhesive there. I'm going to just tuck it kind of under. Okay. And I kind of give each one a little bit of a push. And you can see how springy they are from that foam. And so there is our star wreath. Isn't that so pretty? So for this one, I thought I would do some gold embossing. So I'm going to do May Your Days Be Merry and Bright. I've been doing some other stuff with this earlier, and then I put everything away. So I'm just going to get this back out. May your days be merry and bright. And I want to emboss this with gold. So I'm going to start with my Versamark ink. And you would just cut this out from the center when we cut out the deckled circles. And before I do that, I want to use my embossing buddy. And this helps keep the little static particles away so that you don't get runaway stuff. So let me get this here. Give that a nice press. Close this up. And then I'm using our metallic, so I'm going to be using the gold. And I just keep it in a little container. So I'm going to sprinkle my gold powder on it. Tap it off. Give it a little extra sprinkle here. Okay. And take this over to my heat tool and I'll be right back. Here is my star. So now you're probably going like, how are we going to stick this on? So I thought you could put about anywhere that you want, but I kind of thought over here. And so the way I did this is I used my glue. So you kind of look and see where this is resting. So it's going to rest along this ridge and this ridge here. So we're just going to slather some glue right along that ridge. So as you can see, there's quite a bit of glue. And then I'm just going to rest this right on top. Okay. And then I haven't decided if I'm going to add a bow or not. I could take a little bow and let's see. I might just make one so we can see what it looks like. I didn't know if I wanted it. They had some bows in the one in the catalog. but so if I have a little bow here, I might just add that to this, but I don't want to do anything yet until this totally sets. So I'm going to move this out of the way so that can set up, and I'm going to show you the other one that I made. Here is the one I made, and this one was with the Take a Bow paper. And I did more like they did in the catalog, where I used 5 different patterns, and some of them are cardstock. So I did a couple colors in plain cardstock, and then I used 3 of the patterns of the paper. And then I colored my Santa with my blends and added my little greeting. So isn't that just so cute? I know I keep saying that, but it is cute. And I just realized my camera is kind of tilted a bit, so... Here, I probably knocked it in my excitement. So that is another wreath. So how would you like to see some cards? So these are just some fun cards that I have made. And here is our Santa, using again some of that that Take a Bow paper, or Take a Bow paper. So wishing you a holly jolly Christmas. And I did use one of our other sentiments from another stamp set for my envelope. This one features our gingerbread men, and I embossed the side panel here with white on my crumb cake base, and just made my front a little bit shorter. And I also embossed my gingerbread men, so Baking Spirits Bright, and there is the envelope for that one. And here is another one featuring the gingerbread as a background. And then I've got Mrs. Claus, who is the one Baking Spirits Bright. And then, let me show you the inside of that one. Just my sweet little wishes. And I put another gingerbread on my envelope. Okay, here we have Mr. and Mrs. Claus. So I used a tag from the Greetings of the Season set to make a white tag, and then I stamped my snowflake all over it. And this is more of that paper from Take a Bow. So I've got Santa and his wife, and wishing you a holly jolly Christmas. More of that paper on the inside, and more snowflakes on my envelope. This is one, these are actually 2. I made this on a recent creativity in a snap video. So I just wanted to show you those real quickly here. So wishing you a holly jolly Christmas. And I used some of these really cute little peppermint candies on this one. And I did that on this first card too. So I did one in the video, and then I had the other one that I had made as my sample. And then I wanted to change it up just a little bit and change my colors. So I did this one in Melon Mambo and Lemon Lime Twist. And I really loved how that came out. And I had added the little polka dots on her skirt. I actually made this card before this one, and I really liked the polka dots so much, so I added again. And I used the new plaid embossing folder for this little strip of paper. And I love this color combination together. So Baking Spirits Bright for this one, and Sweet Wishes. So I hope that you have really enjoyed this, that you will give this star wreath a try. I don't know if this is the way that they made it at Stampin' Up! When they did their demo, but it was a way that worked for me, and I think it'll work for you if you give it a try. Thanks so much for watching. Details will be on my blog, thepowerofacard.blogspot.com. I really appreciate you being a subscriber. Thank you so much.